Welcome to Facebook Live today. I'm excited to have Melinda Johansson join us. Melinda is new with Awesome Marriage. She has just been here a month or so, and she is in charge of fundraising for Awesome Marriage. And so glad to have you on the team, Melinda, and thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Kim.
It's great to have you. So let's just talk a little bit about I've got a new book coming out, Love, Marriage, and Sex in the Second Half, which will come out. Actually, pre-orders will start this month, and then it comes out in August, I believe, is the release date. But I think so many people are getting ready to be in that stage of life or in that stage of life. Everybody's situation is unique. Some people enter that situation. I've got people as young as 35 that their kids are graduated, they're gone, and so they're in the second half, and then get people that are 60 doing that. And then you also get, when you get to that stage of life, that maybe other things are going on. So I wanted you to share just a little bit today about your situation, your husband, and just kind of what you're going through right now, because I think there's people that identify with that.
Right. Well, my husband, he's from Denmark. His name is Ole, O-L-E. It's pronounced Ole, but nobody could say it. So when he came to the United States, he just said, just call me Ole. Johansson. And this September, we'll have been married 20 years.
Wow.
So this is not our first marriage. That's a whole other story. But he has children from previous marriages. So I became an automatic stepmom. I became a step grandmother, and I'm even a step great grandmother.
Oh, wow.
He's 26 years older than me. And so it's a very, I didn't know how old he was when I first met him. And then I like to tell people he aged 10 years the first year I knew him, because he kept getting closer to his real age. But then when I met his daughters, I said, oh, okay. But by the time I found out how old he was, I already loved him. And so
yeah,
we have a great relationship. The Lord has been really good for us, with us. I wasn't following the Lord when I met him. I grew up in the church, but I didn't know Jesus. And so I did really meet Jesus about 10 years ago, and it's transformed our marriage, honestly. And now he's following the Lord, and it's just great. So that's our
awesome.
marriage. Yeah.
So you being that far apart, and so then you guys married 20 years. So he was in his 60s at that point, and you were
39, I think.
39.
Yeah. Wait.
So what's
different? 39.
Yeah. So what's different now? Oh, I didn't mean to bring that
on public.
Why did I bring that?
Oh, it's live.
No, you were 29, right? 29.
No, yeah, 19.
So obviously now that Ole has some health issues, and so what's different in this season of marriage than it was in the beginning, and how has that changed for you?
Yeah, very different. He's definitely had some health issues, but that's only been about the past 5 years. And so that's a very different dynamic that happens, because now I'm his caregiver. So I have to be kind of like his mom in a way. So there's a definite balance between helping him understand what he needs to do, and also being his best friend and his wife. And so being able to just talk with him and pray with him, I think, is one of the biggest things. He's always open to talking with me, which is really, really amazing. So I really appreciate that. I'm a very emotional person, and so I can go there. Like yesterday, something happened, and I was very sad and crying, and I was able to go in there, and he just is so kind, and we have these deep conversations. So that's kind of what's changed, is we're so close and we love each other so much that it's really rewarding to be able to nurture that and know that we can trust each other with these difficult things. So.
Yeah, that's so cool. I mean, and I think Nancy and I'd say the same thing. When you continue to invest in your marriage, it does. It becomes something very special. It's love. We were in love when we got married, how we define love then, but how it grows over time. And as you go through life experiences like you guys have together and get to the point where, it deepens, it's something very special. And then as you continue, like you said, I'm so glad you brought up the communication, because it's another way that connects us, that draws us close together, and knowing he's your safe place and you're his safe place. That,
Yeah.
that's really good.
I really would like him to talk a little bit more. I know I'm a talker, but he's a really good listener too. And so that's
Yeah,
the other thing, is feeling heard and feeling listened to is so, at least for me, it's so important.
absolutely.
I grew up with a family that didn't really hear me, so it's really a very important thing in relationships to feel heard. So listening skills is
Absolutely.
so.
Absolutely. Anything else that you appreciate about him now that maybe you didn't see when you guys were younger in the early part of your marriage?
Mm. He's a very strong person. Um, he is dealing with a lot of health problems. He has for a while, but I didn't realize how strong he was in the beginning,
Mm,
and now I can see just how he handles these things.
yeah,
that would really make other people depressed and lose hope. He hasn't lost hope. He keeps his humor, um, and that's just an amazing thing.
yeah, that's awesome.
He really, yeah, that's one thing. He's also a good grounding. He's very being Danish. He's just very matter of fact. So he doesn't let like little things bother him that don't really matter. And so it's really awesome to have
That's
that
really cool.
perspective of life. Like he said, why are you worrying about that, Melinda? It doesn't really. There's nothing you can do about it. I
It's
was like,
interesting
oh,
what we have so much we can learn, I think, from other cultures and people that
yes.
come from that background, and
Mhm.
certainly I know he's learned from you too, but that's really neat. And you talked about how best friends, that kind of thing, obviously communication, other things that you feel like you guys do or you do to help keep that friendship really growing and alive as you guys continue in this stage of your marriage.
Well, just regular coffee talks.
Mm,
Like I go in there in the morning with my coffee. He has his coffee, and he stays in bed a little longer. And doing that, we don't really get out a lot. Because of COVID, and he's kind of high risk, so it's a very
sure.
different situation for us. But just having that quality time, like picking what movies we want to watch,
Yeah, right.
and then or TV shows and talking about it, praying together. Of course, we take turns praying, and he's developing his spirituality a lot more, which is
That's
really
good.
good, and that's really special. And we do have conversations about the Bible, and um, I'm fascinated by all the things in the Bible. So, and he's very he asks these funny questions like, "What about the dinosaurs?"
Yes. Which
And every pastor we meet, he says, "What about the dinosaurs? Can you just give me an explanation?" What's up with the dinosaurs?
that's funny.
And so we have a lot of humor in our marriage.
That's funny. That's good.
He's very funny.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if we kinda like where you guys are, if you could say something to couples and people are listening and watching this or will later as they enter in this, what do they need to hear as they enter into the second half of marriage, no matter what their situation is, but or what age they are? What do they need to hear?
Well, about 12 years ago, we separated, my husband
Mm,
and I, because I wasn't feeling heard. And it was a very difficult time. But he was willing to go with me to a counselor, a spiritual counselor. It was actually a priest at an Episcopalian church. Are they called priests? I don't
I
know.
think so.
Rector. But he heard him give a message, a talk, and so we went to him, and he was willing to go, and he was willing to listen. And so that's my encouragement is don't give up.
Yeah.
If you're having challenges and you're feeling hurt and all of that, don't give up, because God can do amazing things. And so, but you have to have two willing people who are willing to look at their own wounds and their own why they are saying the things they're saying, why they're behaving the way that they're saying, why, all of these things. And it takes a brave person to be able to say, no, I'm going to look and I'm going to go deeper for my marriage, and for my relationship with God. And it's so satisfying. It's so amazing what God can do with two willing people, and how it transforms. Like, it transforms our family. They're seeing Christ in me because of what Oli and I have gone through. And it's such an amazing witness. I just can't encourage you enough, so it's not saying that everybody has problems like we do, but I think everybody, I have a friend who says, we are perfectly imperfect.
Mhm.
And when you have two perfectly imperfect people coming together, that can cause problems. And so it always needs work, and it's worth the investment. That's what I would
Yeah,
say. And
that's
don't
so
give
good.
up. Don't
Yeah,
give up.
I love that, because I think one of the things that concerns me so much is people seem to give up pretty easy today,
Mhm.
and when you persevere through, or like what you guys went to, okay, we're going to counseling, we're going to do
Mhm.
something, and we turn into the marriage to make it better instead of going out of the marriage, which so many people do. And
Mhm.
I love what you said, and the encouragement of stay in and let God make something beautiful out of it.
Yeah, and he will.
Absolutely, you
He
will.
will.
Well, thank you for joining today. I want people to get a chance
Welcome.
to know you, besides just those who you communicate with that are donors and marriage
Yes.
changers at Awesome Marriage that know you that way, but just to
Thank
people to
you.
hear a little bit more of your story. So thanks so much for joining.
Thank you, Dr. Kim, for all you do for